Hi, I'm Peter Birch and welcome to my channel. We're here in this beautiful environment. We're looking for something cool. We're looking for the jewel of the rainforest. That's right, today we're looking for the diamond python. Check this out. How amazing is this? This would have to be the most beautiful python in all of Australia. And I'm not too biased, I can tell you that. Now this is an absolutely gorgeous diamond python. That's right, a beautiful diamond python. Now diamond pythons are so amazing for so many different reasons. Now the first thing you notice, it's beautiful yellows and golden colors here. And the reason why it has these yellows and golden colors based on the dark background is to basically blend into the forest and the dappled tree lighting coming through the forest there. And as you can see, he's a little bit startled. He doesn't really want to be here, but he's not going to bite. He's pretty cool right now. Now they will bite, and they do pack a pretty powerful bite. You know, they've got about 96 teeth, recurved backwards. They bite, they grab hold, and just like all pythons, you know, it's a very unpleasant sort of opportunity. Now these gorgeous, gorgeous creatures, the diamond pythons, occur in the coldest climates of any pythons in the world. That's right, the coldest climate of any pythons in the world. Hard to believe, but absolutely true. Now for Australian pythons, it also holds another record. It's actually the only python that's found at the highest altitude as well. So we find these guys up in the Blue Mountains, inhabiting beautiful areas just like this, open forests, as well as rock cliffs and things like that. Now they are absolutely gorgeous creatures. I mean, they become very, very good captive animals. And as you can see, for a wild animal, he's not too fussed right now. He's a little bit unsure. I mean, they are very curious creatures by nature. Now, these guys typically like to eat things like, you know, warm-blooded prey, because just like all the Morelia species, they have heat sensory pits around the front of their face. Now, these guys do like eating things like birds, small mammals, but they also will, when they're babies, take things like lizards and geckos, you know, to get their bodies up and running and get feeding. But as they mature, you know, these guys become a bit of an awesome creature of that. Now this is about an average sized diamond python. These guys will get like 6 to 8 feet, and in some exceptions they'll get, you know, 3 to 4 meters. That's right, absolute giants. Now there will be a lot older animals. I've kept these guys before for long periods of time in captivity, and they're quite long-lived animals. They can live like 35 to 40 years kept in the right sort of areas and the right ways. As you can see, he's a little bit squirmy, a little bit not really sure. I mean, we've disturbed him. He's just sort of heating up, but absolutely gorgeous animals. And the reason why they're called diamond pythons is because of that beautiful pattern. I mean, you can see these rosettes here. They're sort of diamond shaped with a lighter color inside. Now this is an exceptional sort of colored individual. They do exhibit, you know, whites, creams, oranges, yellows, and with that dark background, could be black, could be olive, could be all sorts of, even sort of really dark browns. Now these guys inhabit very small area on the east coast of New South Wales, and they even go down into Victoria there where it's nice and cool. Now you can just imagine that these guys, you know, like I said, live in the coldest climates, the highest altitudes of all the pythons here in Australia. So these guys are up for some really harsh conditions. Now, these guys I've found, you know, living outside and moving around at 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. That's right, 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. I've also seen them on hot days, you know, 40 plus degrees Celsius, and sitting out basking, which is really crazy. You'd think that these guys would actually move away and hide and all the rest of it, but just like all animals that adapt to environments like this, you know, they come down, they bask in these little patches of sunlight, and then they move their way up the trees to get to the sun, obviously, later on in the day. And then as it gets closer to night, they'll come back down, and that's when they start to search for their prey. Now, they're an ambush predator, but they also will hunt and look for their food as well. So they'll actively search as well as use ambush. Now, they usually hang down from a tree, they usually coil back in a nice tight S, then they usually strike. By pulling back in a nice tight S, gives them the ability to stretch their body a lot further, gives them the ability to actually strike out, extending their body without putting their body at harm and grabbing their prey and pulling it in. Then what they do is they grab the animal usually around the side of the face, they put it in close, they wrap around it and they constrict it. They're not particularly trying to break their bones. What they're trying to do is put a lot of pressure on the animal so its lungs cannot function properly. So basically every time the animal tries to suck air in and it relaxes, the snake will tighten and push more air out. So basically the animal, or the prey item, then suffocates. Then obviously the animal eats the food item all in one go. Doesn't chew it up into small pieces, sucks it down in one big go. Now, how do they do that? Well, their jaws aren't fixed like normal animals, so they have little rubbery sort of connections, even in the front. And then basically what they do is they sort of pop their jaw down, it'll pop out, it'll grab the item with their teeth, sort of jag into it and pull it in, and then they use the other side to pull in. So you can imagine if you don't have hands to feed yourself, it's good to have a jaw that'll actually help or aid to push the food into your mouth. Now, the diamond python is one of the very few animals that really loves humans' encounters. In other words, what does that mean? When humans come into their environment and we build houses, these guys like to move into our house spaces because it makes perfect hunting grounds. Now, the unfortunate thing is in their southernmost regions, these guys are in some diabolical issues because we are bulldozing a lot of their environments. And like I said, they do come into our houses, but not in the large numbers that we're actually decimating their areas from. Now, like I said, absolutely gorgeous creatures. These are the jewels of the rainforest as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely magnificent creatures. And like I said before, what an absolute stunning example of a diamond python. How could you not fall in love with this beautiful creature like that? Look at that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I hope you learned some amazing facts, and I hope you found a new appreciation for diamond pythons. Absolutely gorgeous beasts. Now, make sure you hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and don't forget to like today's video. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching CrittaCam.